Week 11, 51 videos, and I'm still here. But I gotta tell you, friend, being consistent didn't just change my content, it started changing something in me. And for the first time, something that felt so normal, I just couldn't carry it anymore. So, I want to share with you what I've had to let go of in order for me to show up for myself, because I think that some of this is really going to hit home for you too. The thing that nobody tells you about consistency is that it forces confrontation and it wants all the smoke. I'm talking Missy Elliott, why you all in my grill? Because it wants answers and it's demanding it right now. But the truth is that you can't show up for something without it revealing what's been holding you back. And that's scary to face it head on. And for the first time, I was really at that crossroads. And I feel like the first 9 weeks were like a reckoning. But it also gave me the courage to finally face my fear of being seen. Like for the first time, I understood it and I was able to take it out of the shadows and really bring it into the light. And to do all of that with no big audience, no cosign, and really wondering if any of it was even working to begin with, that's where it was really scary. And that's where I was really confronted with my normal default to just quit, to pivot and move on and to do something else instead, because maybe this really just isn't it. But how could I know that for sure if I wasn't willing to stick with it? You know what I mean? Showing up when you feel like life hasn't responded or rewarded you yet, that's the part that nobody glamorizes. Like, I don't see anybody putting that part in their highlight reels. And don't even get me started on the whole permission thing, because so many times we are waiting for someone else to co sign our dream before we know that it's okay to drive after it. Or we're waiting for somebody else to confirm that, yes, this is really what the correct thing is to do before you actually move. Or you're waiting on the views to validate the effort in order to really commit to it. And friend, okay, I don't know if you found yourself in any of those, but I'm definitely in the third one. That's where I was kicking it at, especially during them 9 weeks. But what happens when you actually decide to show up anyway without any of it? What actually happens when you decide for yourself that the only permission that you need is the one that you have already authorized? I'll tell you what happened for me. It resulted in 51 videos, a new level of confidence unlocked, and Mm-mm-mm-mm. It resulted in a brand new relationship with me, identifying myself as a successful, consistent YouTube creator. Yes, okay. That's what I'm talking about, friend. Week 10, that was when a major shift happened because I stopped feeling like I was fighting against myself to show up. And I just started showing up feeling like this is who I am now. That is a major identity shift. Yes, indeed, friend. So, here are some things that I had to let go. And I'm going to be referring to my notes. So, if I glance down, just know, friend, this is a lot. And I want to give you all the goodies, and I don't want to miss any of these reflections because it's good, okay? So, the first thing that I had to let go of is perfectionism. It is so easy for me to get caught up in wanting to edit this to an oblivion and add in all of the bells and the whistles and have it be cute and fade it, like all of the things, friend. I want to do all of it and I'm going to get there. But right now, I needed to let that go in order for me to just get consistent because I know myself and I can hide behind wanting it to be cute, wanting it to be perfect before I actually put the thing out. If I were to do that, there would just be no way that I could consistently show up and make a video for you every day. So I've really had to let go of perfectionism because it was just a place that I could hang out and not really show up. This one is big. I also had to let go of that urge to quit when I didn't see the results that I wanted. Because we already know, friend, when we set a goal, when we set out to do something, we are looking for a quick return on our investment. We go to the gym today, we expect the six pack next week. You feel me? But we all know it just is not that simple. It's not going to show up as quickly as we want to. And there were times when I could justify wanting to quit and not keep going, but I had to really release and let go of really giving into that urge to quit because it's easy to do. But I know that in order for me to get to where I want to be, in order for me to have the impact that I want to have, this has to be done. And the only reason I'm not where I want to be right now is because I have quit in the past. So we're not doing that anymore, friend. We are going to work through that urge to quit before we see the results. One of my favorite books is Think and Grow Rich. And in the beginning, there's a story about a coal miner who was wanting to go out and he wanted to find some gold. And he did all the things, got all the equipment, hired other people, and he did find some. But when he went to find more, he couldn't find it. And he got frustrated. He quit, sold all the equipment to somebody else, and was like, forget it. This is a lost cause. Well, the person that he sold it to, he hired like an engineer to do their thing and find out where it was at, and they found it. So that story always reminds me that I'm so close to gold. And if I can just keep going through that urge to want to quit, it's inevitable that I'm going to strike gold. And I hope that you know that is true for you too, friend. So think about where you have that urge to quit and how you can encourage yourself and even challenge yourself to keep going anyway. I had to let go of the fear that nobody is watching because the truth of the matter is, even if and even when that has been true, there is someone that's always watching, and that's me. So if I can't show up for me, then how could I possibly show up for somebody else? And right now, showing up for somebody else is not more important than me showing up for me. And this is so huge, friend, because we will dedicate our lives, honey, and I mean, we will dedicate our whole entire life to show up for other people. And all we want is a little respect and appreciation. And when that doesn't happen, we can build up resentment because it's like, okay, so I did all of that and for what? Like, what? So, I just want to remind you that your effort is not just for everybody else. Sure, Other people will benefit from you showing up. But the person who benefits the most is you because it's building something in you. And that is more valuable than anything, especially when you really want to be able to build this foundation so that you can keep building on it. So I had to let go of the fear of nobody seeing it because even if and even when that was true, I was seeing it. And I was showing myself that I can show up for me, that my word is truly my bond, that I can trust myself to show up for me. I can rely on me. And those are things that there's no price you can put on that because it's invaluable. So, I hope that you can see, even in your own life, where even though other people may benefit from you showing up, the person who benefits and needs it the most is you. And I also had to learn to change what I was measuring because initially I was measuring my success based off of views, how many people watched the video. And that is, yes, should I be paying attention to metrics so that I can use that data to help me grow and keep making content? Absolutely. I'm not saying that there isn't a strategy and a need for that, but my success cannot be just predicated on data and numbers. My success is what I define success as. And me showing up and actually building this muscle to show up consistently every day on video, that is success. That is what's going to set me up to build momentum, create even more, and have and get to the place that I ultimately want to be. So sometimes we have to look at what we're measuring because if the thing that you're using to measure is making you feel like crap, it's time to reevaluate. And it's not that you can't get into a new relationship with the numbers because numbers are just data. It's just reflecting a point in time. It doesn't have to mean anything about me personally, or it doesn't have to mean something negative about me and what I'm doing. It's just painting a picture. And I can use that data in order to help me do what I really need to do. So I encourage you to get into a new relationship with how you're measuring things and what are you using to measure your own performance because it isn't just vanity metrics. It's not just about the likes and the hearts and the comments and all of the things. It isn't just about that. And you will also find that when that's the only thing that you're measuring and that's the only thing that you value, success starts to feel empty because numbers don't hold joy, like for real, for real. You know what I mean? So, check in and see what you're measuring, how you're measuring, and if that really aligns with your definition of success. And don't be afraid to change your definition of success because maybe when you started out, it meant one thing and now it means something else. So, allow your definitions of things to grow and shift with you because that is one of the greatest ways that you can really continue to grow and not stunt your growth by just sticking with something that doesn't really fit or have the same meaning today as it used to. Hope that helps. The last thing that I had to let go of, and this is probably the most important, is letting go the version of me that played small, the version of me that just stayed in her comfort zone, which was behind the mic only and not on video, and being okay with letting her go and being honest with the fact that she did a lot of great things and she helped me get to this point. So for that, I'll always be grateful. But she's done her job. Her jersey is going up in the rafters because the new creator is here, okay? But it's being okay with grieving that old version of me. She did her job and she did what was best to protect us and take care of us at the time. But now it's time to move on and allow this new version to really take the wheel and drive us on into our destiny, okay? So don't be afraid to shed old versions of yourself. There's always going to be that version of you that is in there. She's just not the one that is driving anymore. Now she's in the back seat, and that's a cool position for her to be in. It's okay. It's okay. She's still in there. But now it's time to move forward with all of the new levels of yourself that you've discovered that are now ready to run the show like the main character that you are. Okay? Okay. Now, friend, we can't talk about letting go without talking about what we are also making room for. Because when you actually do your work and start clearing the weeds out of your garden, that's when your garden really starts to flourish. And what I did not know when I started out on this journey is that showing up for myself was really the work that I needed to do in order to really confront my fear of being seen and showing up without any results. That is the ultimate surrender. That is the ultimate letting go. When you can put in the work and the effort and not expect a certain result or outcome, that's freedom, friend. That is surrender. That is collaboration with God, source, the universe, whomever it is that you believe in. That is co creation at its finest. That is when really beautiful things start to bloom. Because so many times we are waiting for results in order for us to really commit. And if you're just waiting for other things to happen before you decide to really be invested, then again, what you end up achieving, it'll feel empty. There will be no sense of fulfillment in that. And it's easy to get caught up thinking that when we're putting in the work and we're putting in all this effort and you're not seeing any results, it's easy to think that nothing is happening. And it's easy to think that you're doing it all for nothing. But that is not true because the effort that I put in, that was for me. And the effort that you put in, that's for you. That is how you build the foundation of the woman that you want to become and build the life that you want to live. So I just want to remind you that if you are in a season of building or clearing the weeds out of your garden and planting seeds and doing all of the things, I just want to remind you that your effort is not for nothing. You are building something real, something that's going to be built to last. And what's real and built to last is what you are building within you. You have to have a solid foundation that you have built in order for your blessings to have a place to land. So, I just want to remind you that as you are letting go, you are making room for so many beautiful things to come into your life. Friend, showing up for yourself before there is any proof that it's working, that is one of the most powerful things you can do for you in the name of your self love. Because while all of the things that you're building are beautiful, who you become in the process, the woman that you become, friend, that is the ultimate prize. It will always be greater than anything else that you ever build. All of your effort, it is never for nothing. It is for the woman that you are working to become. Your effort was always about you, friend. It always has been. So, as soon as you can realize that you have not been doing all of this for nothing, and that all of your effort, everything is always used for your highest good. And that includes everything that you're putting into this season of your life. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Oh, that's so good. Okay, friend, let me give you a journal prompt real quick. Let me check my notes. Ow, ow, ow. Okay, what version of myself am I finally ready to release to make room for who I'm becoming? Ooh, ooh, ooh. Friend, that's so good. Journal about that. And if you are so bold and brave, drop me a comment and tell me which version of yourself you are releasing. I want to meet you in the comments and celebrate you, friend, because we are doing this work together, okay? Reflections of the becoming, we are becoming together, okay? Okay. I love you so much, and I'll see you tomorrow, friend.